So how important is weight on a trail bike? A lighter bike definitely has its benefits for climbing, but overall, what difference does it make for everything? The old saying goes, pick between light, strong and cheap. You can only have two of those three things.
So we're going to put this to the test. Here we have a Scott Genius 720. It weighs 12.5 kilograms in standard form. We're going to do a run. We're going to give a bit of feedback of how it feels from us personally. We'll do another run with adding ballast to the bike to around 16 kilograms. Same things, what we feel like the characteristics personally, and then also against the clock to see if it makes any difference between the light bike and the heavy bike.
Does that make it a fat bike?
I don't think so, Neil.
You can get modern trail bikes that are a really good mix of light and strong, but they don't tend to come cheap. Where carbon fibre frames and components used to be reserved for cross-country, now you even see downhillers using carbon frames and components. So let's see how much difference that stuff actually does make. So you ready, Mark?
Yep, ready.
Let's go for it.
It's so good, it's so good, it's bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's good, that's unsafe, every safe, God will, that's unsafe, every safe, God will.
Not only do light bikes climb much easier, they're also going to stop quicker and get going much quicker. Here Mark's riding a 180 turn, so he's going to brake late, it'll stop nice and quick. You can flick the bike round, it's nice and light, and then it's going to accelerate quicker as well. All those things, and they're less tiring to ride all day long.
So that was a run on the light bike. Obviously I ride this kind of bike every day. It's really agile. Just feels normal, you know, it accelerates out the corners, I can move it around really easily. Let's put some weights on and see what difference it makes.
So Mark, the weight's on, got a nice sturdy bike. Now the pressure's on, let's see what the clock tells us.
Should be interesting, Neil. I'll give it a go.
It's so good, it's so good, it's bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's good, that's unsafe, every safe, God will, that's unsafe, every safe, God will.
A heavier bike isn't going to accelerate quite as nicely out of the tight stuff, but on the flip side, once you're up to speed, they're going to carry more momentum, it's going to feel more stable and hopefully plough through the rough stuff a little bit better.
I find it really difficult to get out of low speed corners. Moving it around, you just notice that weight straight away. I think you would perhaps get used to it, but compared to, you know, having no ballast on it, you know, it seems to stay on the ground more, perhaps not a little more stable. You don't have to kind of pinch the bike between you to kind of hold it nice and steady over roots or like nasty braking bumps, but certainly was interesting.
All right, Mark, so moment of truth, light bike versus heavy bike. The light bike started off 12.5 kilos and the time you got for that was 1 minute 46, so relatively short track obviously. So we made that bike up to 16 kilos, pretty heavy, that's heavier than most World Cup downhill bikes you'll see, so pretty heavy bike, and your time came in at 1:48, so it's pretty close to be fair. It really didn't make that much difference with a much heavier bike.
No, true, but I definitely noticed it, like it might not make so much difference if you want to hammer the downhills all day, but I wouldn't like to be the guy that went out for it for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think we'd see on a big cross-country loop. Is a heavy bike like that, it's going to be really hard work to just pedal up the hill. So, you know, it's one of those things, if all you do is ride downhill and you want a reliable bike, a bit of weight isn't that bad, but for cross-country orientated ride, it's going to be much harder work. Having said all that, I think there is a lot to be said for a slightly heavier, reliable bike that is durable, good tyres, big pedals, that sort of thing that I actually don't mind. I do like to ride a light bike, but I don't mind giving away a little bit of weight on tyres, so they're super tough. I'm not going to worry about puncturing, and also riding bigger clip pedals like downhill pedals. Personally, I really like that.
What are a few like tips that you would say that might help you lose a few pounds off the bike and really get it a bit more nimble and user friendly for those all day rides?
Yeah, for sure. I guess the easiest way, well, not the easiest way, but the best way is rotating mass. So think about your wheels. That can make a big difference to how the bike rides. So tubeless systems, good place to start. And if you do want to throw a little bit of cash at a bike, lighter wheels are a pretty good upgrade. You can also think about dumping all those things that you don't need on the bike, any accessories, lights, mud guards you might not necessarily need all year round. Get rid of all that stuff. It's a pretty good place to start. The other thing is, you know, are you riding a bike that's got too much travel, more travel than you actually use? So, you know, you might possibly be overbiked anyway, so think about that. If you want to see some more videos, you can click up here for our top 10 mountain bike innovations.
And if you want to see two people way uglier than me and Neil waffling on, just click up here and check out the Dirt Shed show.
Don't forget, you can always click on us to subscribe to GMBM.
Why not?